All right. Good morning, Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to our weekly sales meeting where it is going down according to our song this morning. Very excited to have everyone with us this morning and excited to dive right in. We are going to start this morning, as we have been all of our sales meetings this year, talking a little bit about the mission, the vision, the values, the beliefs and perspectives of our organization, which is Keller Williams. Our mission is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Wanted to talk a little bit about the lives worth living piece this morning, as last week we wrapped up Bold 2021. We had dozens of agents participate and graduate from Bold. Our agents, on average, during their Bold experience, wrote more business than agents anywhere else in the Keller Williams enterprise at the same time. So it's easy to see that Bold was a huge success, more so for our agents than any others in our network. However, one of the most important things we talk about during Bold is building a life by design. That's actually what Bold stands for: business objectives, life by design. And so when we look at this mission statement and we think as a leadership team and as a staff, and I know the owners of this company, when they look at this and they think about the lives worth living component, it's really about creating an environment that allows you to choose your own adventure, build a business that lets you be financially free and affords you the opportunities to do the things and have the impacts that you want to have. Just this morning in the Rocky River office, I was having a conversation with a couple of rainmakers about, quote unquote, their number and what it means to be financially free, and then what they do from that point forward, who they help and how they experience life. So I know in the moment, it could seem like it's all about a contingency removal or a multiple offer situation, but in this organization, we want to aim big and aim high, and that is to live as big a life as possible. So if you want to talk more about that, you need help defining that, or you want help growing your business so that it funds it, let's talk. All right, diving in, we're going to celebrate some wins this morning. First and foremost, let's talk about the numbers. So these are Q1 numbers, through April. These are the numbers for Keller Williams Realty International. So this is our international organization. These are so you know that we are the largest real estate company in the world. And we are growing at a really aggressive clip. I will say there's a caveat to this. The year over year base for these numbers is a little wonky in the sense that there were a lot of entire states closed at this time last year. So the aggressive growth is not necessarily an apples to apples comparison. However, it is important to note that a lot of our national competitors, there are several national competitors who still not regained their footing, who are not outpacing the market by 20, 30, 50, 70%, right? That are struggling their way through based on the things that they did or did not do at this time last year. Unfortunately for all of us, we work for a company that leaned in, invested in agents, invested in opportunities to help them invest in their clients, and we're reaping the benefits now. Now that's internationally. Here locally, this is through the first 4 months of the year. We have had a very, very strong start. If you look at your year-to-date column, that is the one on the far right, we are outperforming 2020 in every category. I'll comment that the same thing around listings taken, you'll see, is massively different year over year for the month of April, which was last month. However, the market did not post plus 46, almost 47% in listings. Only you did that, right? The market was up, but not nearly as much. And the same thing goes for our closed units year to date. And even though we were, about 11 units off last year's pace, the number of solds is down in the market through the month of April, or in the month of April. So we continue to outpace the market in all categories. And the most important one to us, when we think about what we're here to do and how we're here to do it and what it means to have a life worth living, that very bottom number is really the most important one, should be the most important one to all of us, and that's closed GCI, right? Are we earning more money? Are our agents putting more money in their pockets each and every year, each and every month? Because that's our goal, right? We want to help people, and we know that the more people we help get what they want, the easier it is for us to get what we want. So we're very, very happy to see that our agents en masse are making more money this year than they were last year. And if that continues until the end of time, we'll all be in a very good position. All right, other great news coming out of KWRI. Forbes named Keller Williams Realty International and Keller Williams as a franchise one of America's best employers for diversity. So you'll know and likely remember and have likely felt and heard a lot of the conversations that we've had around everything that has happened in the last 12 to 18 months in our country and around the world. And our organization responded. Our International Agent Leadership Council responded with the addition of equity to our belief system. There are large initiatives happening here locally and internationally to ensure that there is opportunity for everyone in our organization. And while we don't do it for awards, it is an important mile marker to tell us that we're headed in the right direction. LinkedIn named KW one of the top companies in the United States. What does that mean? I don't know. Maybe our people spend the most time on LinkedIn. Nevertheless, very happy to have that. Good swag for your Facebook wall. And then I want to say welcome to all of these wonderful and talented people who have made the decision not only to start their career in real estate, but to start it with us. So we're excited to have these folks joining our company in the month of April. We had a very strong month in terms of growth and are excited to see them get underway and make a difference for their clients. Now, if you are someone who knows someone who's interested in a career in real estate, we have our first career night of May coming up this Friday at 4 p.m. So these take place twice a month and are an easy way to get folks a high-level overview of what is Keller Williams, what do you do, how will they support my business, what does it look like to have a career in real estate, all the questions that somebody might have and you might not feel comfortable answering, or candidly in this market, you might not have the time to answer. And that's where Danielle and myself come in, and we stand in front of the room, we tell some really funny jokes, and we get everybody really excited about what it means to be a part of this company. One of our favorite things is when we have agents from the office also attend with their guests, because it allows us to ask that agent to tell their story, share about their experience, and for a lot of people makes it very real. So this is a great opportunity, a very easy, pain-free way to invite people to the company to help grow your profit share. So a tremendous, tremendous opportunity, and we hope that you'll take advantage of it this Friday, 4 p.m., both the Rocky River and Pepper Pike offices, as well as on Zoom. So if you want more details, let us know. All right, let's dive into the upcoming training opportunities. From a sales meeting standpoint, last week we talked with Pete Formica about mastering the art of the co-broke. Today, we are going to take a look at some of the big things that are happening at Keller Williams Realty International and how they impact you as individual agents and team owners. We will then, next week, very excited about this one. So MAPS has been expanding a lot of their opportunities. There's a lot of different things happening in the world of MAPS coaching, which is the largest coaching organization in the entire world. And it exists inside of Keller Williams Realty. And so very excited. We're going to have 3 or 4 different MAPS coaches come on and talk about their coaching programs, the things that are being offered by MAPS, what where I can go for more information, and it will be a free for all from a question standpoint. So if you've ever wondered, like, is MAPS coaching right for me, or what MAPS coaching opportunities are there that don't involve, an annualized commitment? What does the one-on-one relationship look like? Everything is fair game for these folks. And we are super excited. We have dozens of agents in our office who are in MAPS coaching, and we want to ensure that everybody has the information that they need to make a good decision. As we know from models and systems and from experience that when you're being coached, you are maximizing your opportunities to achieve mastery, and which is incredibly important in building a really big business. And then finally, we will wrap up the month with another monthly Market Center update. We got a ton of really good feedback 2 weeks ago, whenever we heard from a bunch of different folks on the leadership team and the staff, and we're able to provide insights on what everyone's doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and how it impacts you. So we're excited to bring that back again this month. As always, guys, if there's anything that you'd like to see, hear, or experience as a part of a sales meeting, like this is your experience. If you say that you want to know more about listings, or more about this or that or the other thing, whatever it is, we'll work it into a sales meeting, because we want this to be a big dose of weekly value add for you. Speaking of value adds, we have a packed calendar for May. So very excited. Ignite still rocking and rolling, both in person and on the Zoom. Cannot stress enough. You'll see in the next slide, the folks who are leading Ignite are the top agents in our office. And so anyone and everyone, regardless of where you're at in the production life cycle, regardless of where you're at, and from an organizational model standpoint, there is a lot to learn from. So yesterday we had Lincoln Coverdale talking about the unique value proposition. It was an outstanding session by all counts. And then tomorrow we will have Morgan Curtis, one of the top buyers agents in the company, talking about finding and winning the buyer. Guys, Morgan's already closed, I think, close to 20 transactions this year for buyers. So you think about what it takes to win in this market and what it takes to win for your buyers. She is going to be sharing everything that goes on in that. And then we will round out the week with finding and winning the seller, and then the back half of the month is jam-packed. So we'll talk more about who's leading those as we go along. Very nope, I think I've got slides on everything else, so we're going to keep on trucking. Yes, so Matt Chase is going to be our presenter for Friday for finding and winning the seller. And then we'll hear from Rebecca Runge. She joined our company just a couple months ago, runs a rockin' open house. Just had one last week. That the open house property been on the market for about a week. Through an open house on Mother's Day, mind you, which seems counterintuitive, but by the end of that day had multiple offers, including people coming all the way from out of state to visit her open house, believe it or not. So she'll be talking about how she pulled that off. Mike Boych talking about a day in the life of a realtor, which is always a good session in terms of owning your time, managing your time, and figuring out how to have an impact. Jermaine Brooks, finding business. If you know Jermaine, you know that he has a nose for business, and so that's going to be a great one. Conducting a top-notch buyer appointment will be Portia Sharp. Art Obleton will be talking about making and receiving offers. And then finally, we'll wrap up with negotiating the deal with Debbie Garson, who is on fire to start this year. So cannot wait for all of those. Again, I can't stress enough, Ignite is meant to, from an organizational standpoint, to bring people from a little bit of business to a lot of business. That being said, the way that we run Ignite and the folks that we bring to the table to teach these classes, there are benefits to everybody, from new in the business to 10 years in the business to 20 years in the business to Nancy Emmerman years in the business. So we are very excited about having that program. And then this afternoon, very excited about this. We're going to talk a little bit about some things with Command more, but we are every Tuesday afternoon this month at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, we will be doing an Ask Me Anything, right? So whatever you have that you are trying to accomplish from a command standpoint, whether it is things with your database, things with your smart plans, things with your with marketing, things related to I want to leverage this referral network, whatever it is, we will be able to help you navigate that, so you don't have to come prepared with anything other than a question, right? And we will talk through and do examples on how to do it, but we want to make sure that to the extent that all of you are leveraging that tool and you want to get bigger and faster and stronger with it, that we as a leadership team are supporting that. And then constant reminder, all of the stuff that we do, including the words coming out of my mouth right now, is recorded and is available on our YouTube page. So follow us at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan Training. And then additionally, for other updates and celebrations for agent performance or any major milestones for Keller Williams, both locally and nationally, we post those on our Instagram at KW Greater Metropolitan and on our Facebook group, KW Greater Metropolitan, not only our internal one, but please follow us on our external page, which will give you the opportunity to share out a lot of really cool stuff that comes through. And there is a screenshot of our YouTube page, which is always awesome. All right. And then quick update here. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks. We have nailed down Jeff Glover will be in Cleveland, sponsored by Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan. The link is live. Jeff's going to be going over 21 ways to take 21 listings this summer. And so if you've ever been a part of anything that Jeff does, it never fails to be both entertaining and very informative, very educational. You will walk away with things that you can do that afternoon to go get a listing, and then repeat those things to go get more and more and more. So Jeff is a fantastic friend of our Market Center. We're excited to host him. It will be in Broadview Heights at the Woodside Event Center, which is 100 yards off of Interstate 77, just a couple exits down from 480. So it is very, very accessible from all parts of the world. And we are thrilled to have him in town. Do not miss. Go get your ticket right now. And then
Hey, Mike, can I just add to that? Sorry, real quick.
No.
So I put it in the chat box, but just note the new date. I know we've been talking the last few weeks about it being June 9th. Due to a regional conflict, Jeff had to move it to the 10th. So if any of you guys, I know we kept saying save the date, add it to your calendar, just change that. We also have 120 seats, and I realize that sounds like a lot, but it's actually not when it gets opened up to the entire region. So make sure if you guys want a ticket, the tickets are only $19, you get a ticket. And then it said if you bring a friend from another company, then your ticket and their ticket is on us. So just reach out to Mike and I for that, and we can help you with that. The link was sent out yesterday, and I just threw it in the chat box. So that was all, Mike. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle. And thank you for dealing with all the madness of trying to help Jeff find a location. We are working our way out of this pandemic, but we are not out of it yet. So thank you for that, Danielle. Now, the week has arrived. We are here. It is Red Day 2021. So we are very excited. Thursday is going to be a big day across Northeast Ohio. We have half a dozen locations, almost 150 agents that'll be out in the community doing service for the people closest to them. First and foremost, thank you all for your consistent giving to KW Cares for Cleveland. That funds a lot of the things that will be at the table for these groups. But we know that charity doesn't always just show up in the form of money. It is time and talent and treasure, all three. And it is so awesome to be a part of an organization that has an agent body, a group of constituents that invest so heavily in their communities and in each other. If you've never participated in Red Day before, and this is going to be your first Red Day, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to make some friends. You're going to do some good. And then you're probably going to have to scamper off and write some offers in the afternoon. And that's great. We still want you to do your business, but appreciate you taking some time out to help those that are in need. anyone and everyone who is intending to participate should be getting information, should have already received information from either your site leader or the lovely and talented Carrie Mitchell in terms of getting yourself situated, what you need to bring, what you need to be ready for. And so we are very excited about Thursday. If you have any questions, if you feel like you don't have the information you need, don't hesitate, reach out to me, let me know, or Carrie or Allison or your site leader, and we will go ahead and get you squared away. But we are very excited for that. I would be remiss to not say to take a lot of pictures, and please send them to Danielle. Is it okay to direct them to you? Do you want to be on receive for all these pics?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we would love to put together some snapshots of you guys doing good. If you have the opportunity to interact directly with the people that you are benefiting, get them in the shot. And we will look forward to celebrating you and all your good deeds next week. All right, now we're going to dive into some partner updates. So I am going to throw it over to my partner, Sean Hadley at Cross Country Mortgage. John, how you doing this morning?
Very good. Thank you, Mike. And Don's en route between two stops at the moment, so he may or may not be on this call. But what I wanted to touch on today was the 15-year. So 30-year rates kind of be the benchmark that we chat about, and usually the topic of dinner conversations and such. 30-year kind of hanging around 3%, pretty much a 0.5% lower than where it was forecasted to be just a few months ago. The 15-year rate, I locked in a rate yesterday, primary residence. It was a short 30-day lock. Great credit score, strong down at 2.25%, which basically is about the low point of where they were prior to the boost that we had over the first quarter. So just to kind of quantify this, I had a buyer going back and forth on a 15 versus 30 yesterday. So to give you some numbers, a $200,000 loan at, let's say, just 3%, just use round numbers here, would yield a principal and interest payment of $843. The life of the loan would be $103,500 in interest, roughly. 15-year, let's even say at 2.375, you'd be looking at a payment of $1,321, so about $480 more. But the interest over the life of the loan would be less than $38,000. So I'm the first to tell a buyer, hey, if you're not in love and totally comfortable with that 15-year payment, don't bite off more than you can chew. You can always do a 30-year fixed and pay extra. But just month to month, that little comparison there, you're paying $104 less in interest on that particular loan comparison. So as Don and I and Chris, typically do, some buyers just call in and just want, option A without knowing option B or C. I'll always throw it out there just to say, hey, we do have a 20-year, we do have a 15-year, especially if somebody's a little bit more, established, maybe it's their second, third, or final home, one to throw out there. So just that, wanted to take note of the 15-year, how aggressive we were with that and just how much savings there could be.
That's awesome. A great opportunity. And guys, even if your client ultimately ends up with a 30-year, bringing to the table options is going to demonstrate, your knowledge, your expertise, and your ability to, find them something maybe they can afford. Maybe they ended up in a house that, was not as expensive as they thought it was going to be. So they can protect the same payment, but at a 15-year, and then just build equity that much faster. So that's terrific stuff, Sean. Thank you so much. There was a question in the chat about refis. What are we seeing on refi rates?
So the government December 1st decided to charge basically everybody 0.8% higher in interest rate on refinances. This is 100% the government and not Cross Country or your favorite local lender. So refinance rates generally run about 0.8% higher than on purchase rates. And if you're pulling cash out, that is going to be refinancing and pulling from equity, it's going to be a little bit higher than that, depending on how much, what your credit score is. Could be 1/8, could be an extra 0.25% on top of that. So answer your question, refinances generally about 0.8% higher than the purchase.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And just a reminder to the conversation we had last week, guys, getting into conversation with your people about refinance. will provide them with a window into what their home is worth. And, what we see is there are a lot of conversations that start out about refinancing that end up about listing, right? And so great opportunity there to come from contribution, add value, and then put people in a position to make really good decisions. All right, let's throw it over to Jade and Tiffany with Greater Metropolitan Title and Escrow. What's the latest and greatest from everything on your side of the shop?
Good morning, everyone. Today, I was just going to kind of go over survivorship language on deeds. Survivorship language is used if there are 2 or more people on title. What the point of survivorship language is if one of the people on title pass away, that the property will not have to go through probate to be sold. There's a lot of misconception about this. The only way that survivorship language is allowed is if there is 2 or more people on title. Me, I just bought a house or a condo. I bought it in my own individual name, so therefore I cannot get survivorship language on my deed. Let's say though that I did want to, let's say there is just one individual on title and they did want something that would, if something happened to them, God forbid, that their property would not have to go through probate either. We could get prepared from our attorney what is called a transfer on death deed. And that pretty much allows you to leave the property to anybody of your choosing. It could be more than one person, it doesn't matter. But again, if you do that transfer on death designation deed, your property will not have to go through probate as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know, if your clients have any questions about survivorship language, because I know on some of the contracts, it asks who you want on the deed and if they want survivorship. So in case any of you guys were unfamiliar with that verbiage means, that is what it means.
Awesome.
Are there any questions on that?
I'd like to add, if we have, especially if a husband and wife are purchasing a property, we just add the survivorship. We just order a deed with survivorship language. We speak to every buyer and seller that we do a closing with. And as long as we do speak with the buyer, we confirm with them if they want survivorship. Very rarely would they say no, because it's going to avoid a lot of stress for them later on. It's going to avoid a lot of cost. They would typically have to hire an attorney and they have to pay the probate court. So those monies could go to their spouse or their heirs. So they want to avoid that. We can file a transfer on death designation affidavit at closing if the customers choose to. Our attorney charges $75, or outside counsel charges $75 for those, and they're $34 to record. In addition to that, they're always welcome to reach out to us after closing, and we will put them in touch with the attorney who prepares those. And he pretty much takes care of everything for them. He'll prepare it, they can have it notarized at their convenience, and then he'll make sure it gets recorded. So it's not inconvenient for them. And we do, of course, recommend they do this as quickly as possible. Once the customers have moved into the house, they're busy, remodeling, getting married, life happens. So it's good to do it while it's fresh on the brain. You don't want to leave something like this. We had a situation with a closing where it was a couple who purchased a property, not with us, but a different title company, and they did not have survivorship. And unfortunately, the fiance passed away just a month after they bought the house. And he had children, and the children wanted any equity, and it was a mess. Had they just had survivorship, that all could have been avoided. So she ended up selling the house just to be done with the stress. And through us. So just something to think about. If you don't know if you have survivorship on your home, take a look. Super, super important. If you don't know if you're individually in title on your property and you want to do a transfer on death to your spouse, we can put you in touch with the attorney who can help you with that. Make sure your assets are protected as well.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. Appreciate the updates and that clarification. Good stuff to keep in mind and to keep your clients educated on as they go through the process, especially your first-time home buyers. Let's not assume that anybody, not everybody's done this before. And even if they have, they might not have done it while they were married. All right, well, now we're going to throw it over to Gina Legeza with America's Preferred Home Warranty. What do you got for us today, Gina?
Good morning. How's everybody? Just wanted to talk about why it's so important, especially in this market, to list with a home warranty. We know that there's, very little inventory and people are buying homes sight unseen. Homes are going into multiples over asking. Why would you list with a home warranty? And number one, you're leaving risk on the table. So if the home's going to close, let's say July 1st, we know that 70% of homeowners experience major systems failures in the first 30 days, whether it's listing our home or being the buyer. So you're leaving tremendous risk for something to go wrong. You actually have complimentary coverage when you list with a home warranty: electrical, plumbing, hot water tank, and the seller pays nothing till we go to the closing table. And very important, the seller also gets legal protection. Michael, as your partner, we're the only home warranty company that has legal protection. It's called List Secure. We'll give the seller $1,000 to any attorney that they choose, 2 years, any post-sale disputes. So, legal action is on the rise. Another reason to list with the home warranty. If they use it as negotiating piece, they could get stuck with a home warranty company that they don't know. And the poor seller could be paying $700 for a warranty and a rep that they don't have any relationship with. Here you guys all have access to call me day, night, weekends. And, I think with the market that we're in, Michael, everyone's using the equipment more than ever right now. People are at home. So it's just very important. A couple reasons why it's so crucial to list with the home warranty. And as a reminder, lastly, when you're listing with a home warranty, very important that you put the seller upgrade on. Again, you pay nothing till you go to the closing. When you have the seller upgrade on, this is crucial because you also get appliances and heating and cooling coverage. There is a max of $1,000 in claims during listing, but probably look in June or July for some classes I'm going to arrange with Danielle. So I'm excited to do some Zoom and in-person training, and just want to thank everybody so much for their business and appreciate it. Thank you.
Love that. Thank you so much. Good information, good data to throw at your clients whenever we're having the conversation about home warranties, why they're so important. And then let's see, I don't know, is Jess Ivins, are you on today? I know weren't able to confirm ahead of time, so if you're not,
I don't think she is.
don't speak up. Okay, great. Well, then we will get back into our slides for today, as we have a few new things to talk about in regards to Command. So starting all the way at the tippy top of the funnel here as it relates to KW Command and what we're doing as an organization. I know that, for those of you who have been with the organization for some time, it has been a journey. What ultimately started as a labs process has evolved and grown to something that's much bigger and needs to be managed differently and more typical to a large piece of technology that almost 200,000 people will use on a regular basis. And so there have been a lot of changes over the course of the last few months at KWRI. And there has been a crack team brought in with a lot of experience with technology implementations. And so things will be changing in phases and stages. And we aim to bring you some of those updates and also aim to demonstrate that to you as a market center. And so, what you'll see and what you'll hear about from us are some different things that we're doing to show the power of Command, but also want to keep you updated on hey, 2 years ago or 18 months ago, you might have said wouldn't it be great if, we could just our own branded magazines inside of Command and then ship them off to a printer and have them printed and drop them off as client gifts or leave them at the closing table, whatever it is. Well, things like that have made it through the funnel. And so if you go inside of Command, inside of designs, inside of the marketing widget, you can actually fully customize and make as big or as small as you want a professionally laid out magazine. And I know that some folks do this through some third parties. Some folks do this as a way to have a leave behind with their clients or as a part of their listings. But now you can keep it up to date instead of printing 500 for the year and having that information be out of date 1 quarter in. You can keep this up to date to the market of the moment and be providing your clients with great resources and great leave behinds. Another great thing that we've started doing as an organization is providing communication kits, right? So the most recent one that has come out is very appropriate for the market, and it is all around the idea of securing listings, right? Sellers wanted. So what you'll find in this kit is email, Facebook posts, and text message scripts that will allow you to engage a customer, talk about the market, customize to what's going on here in Northeast Ohio, and then push it out. Very important when you're doing anything related to texting that the TCPA and the do not call rules do apply to texting. So make sure that that is being recorded. We cannot be talking to people who are on the do not call list. If you need a do not call list, you can go to do not call.gov. But these are great resources if you're the type of person like me that sits in front of a computer and doesn't know what to say whenever they're going to send an email. Then there's a great opportunity for you to rip off some scripts, make them your own, and then get the conversation started with as many people as possible. Now, what I'm most excited about around Command is some of the advances that we've been able to make as a market center in leveraging it to model the way. So you may have noticed if you were a part of Bold or a part of any of our masterminds over the last couple of months that you have been receiving emails from DemoMC297 at kw.com. That is our market center. Guys, if you haven't, just go check your spam filter real quick and make sure that that is an allowed, an approved recipient, or you're able to receive emails from this email address, because Sierra, Carrie, Danielle, Julia have been working together to put together smart plans that allow us to communicate more consistently and on time around our larger events. And additionally, we've started to leverage text communication. So if you want to receive text from us, they'll come from this number. If you don't, you're like, hey, I don't want to receive, work-related text. That's fine. You can always opt out. But save this number in your phone as KWGM Market Center. And that way you'll know it's us talking to you, not somebody else trying to sell you a warranty for your car. But what's really cool is we've been able to use these to ideally communicate better and more consistently to all of you, and also model the way that you can communicate better and more consistently to your clients. So the opportunity here is to adopt some of these smart plans. For anyone that's had a birthday in the last few months, you may have received some love and some birthday texts from folks on the leadership team. And that's because we have everybody set up on birthday smart plans. You may have also gotten some texts about, hey, happy anniversary with Keller Williams, right? It's because we have everybody on an anniversary smart plan. And so because we want to be able to answer all the questions you have and help you implement all of the tools available to you for your business, we've started to leverage them as a market center. As always, any feedback that you have, anything that you would like to see, hear, feel differently, let us know. Like, this is completely malleable. We have the opportunity to change and upgrade and pivot any way that we want to as it relates to this. So any feedback you add would be greatly appreciated, but please make sure that you are not letting Demo MC297 go to spam, and then save that number in your phone as our market center. So, when you get text from it, that's text from us. All right. Some other really cool stuff happening at the KWRI level is everything that's on KW Connect, right? So say that, there is something coming up on our training calendar in 4 or 5 weeks, and you're like, geez, I really need that right now. a great resource for everybody where there are literally thousands of hours of very specific training and education and conversations recorded is on KW Connect. So when you go to kwconnect.com, you'll log in with your standard KW username and password. And then from there, you can access all of the different reports around your business, tools for listings, anything related to finding people in the white pages. But then also there are 2 live stream trainings almost every day available on KW Connect. So this is just this week, right? And so there are great assets here. Yesterday, and they talked about buyer fatigue and how, and the words that work around working with buyers who have lost multiple times. For rainmakers and team owners, there's an opportunity to have a conversation, about how to retain talent for the long term. One of the foundations to our organization is our, Gary Keller's 6 personal perspectives. So there was a deep dive in the idea of being learning based that's coming up tomorrow. Every Wednesday, there's Wealth Building Wednesdays. There's Tech Tuesdays every Tuesday. And you'll see a lot of this stuff is mirrored in our market center because we want to bring it to you on a more intimate and personal level. However, if you're looking for opportunities for additional education, KW Connect and Connect Live are fantastic for that. And then just as we have our YouTube page stacked with all of our previous trainings, so does KW. KW has, everything from, the last 12 months is searchable on Connect. You can identify, quick videos on how to do this in Command, trainings on how to have this conversation, trainings on how to organize my database, or whatever it is. I'm sure that one of the best people in the world as it relates to KW has probably done a training on it on KW Connect Live. So don't be afraid to go check that out and leverage that resource in your business. The last thing we want to talk about today is something that you have likely seen or felt. And if you haven't, I'm sure now that I've said it and put it out in the universe, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos will make sure that it shows up on your phone very shortly. But this is the Bet on Red campaign. So one of the things that has always been a challenge for any franchise model is getting all of our franchises to tell our story together. And a lot of that is because, everybody is marketing something a little bit different, or maybe there just isn't a consistent marketing message that's been provided. Well, that has changed at the KWRI level. Now, by no means are we not going to tell the story of Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan being the #1 office in Northeast Ohio and the best place to build your business and all the amazing things that our amazing agents accomplish. However, we do have some leverage, which we talk about a lot, through this thing called the Bet on Red campaign. And so we are able to leverage marketing assets from Keller Williams Realty International and then push those out into our community and talk about the things that are most important to us as an organization. And if you've ever been a part of any of the conversations we have with new agents or people that are interested in a career in real estate, like maybe you show up to one of our career nights, you're going to hear one of the first things we talk about as an organization is our culture, right? And so KWRI has provided a series of assets that we will be posting on social media and sharing out to our agents around in May, culture. Next month will be around technology. Month after that could be around lead generation and all the things that our organization does to support that. Now, what's really, really cool, for any of the nerds in the audience, right? There's this thing called Metcalfe's Law, right? Which it talks about specifically about network effects, right? And that is where, things are not multiplicative, but exponential, right? So you have an exponential increase in the value of a network as more people use it, right? So a network of 10 might be valued at 100, but a network of 100 is valued at 10,000, right? So what can happen, what will happen whenever, we're posting these things out is, we're going to post them from our our externally facing social media profile. And they're a great opportunity for you to share out into your agents, or excuse me, into your constituents, your clients, share to the people that you're networked with, right? So when we tell a story of Red Day, right, you can leverage that, share it, talk about your experience at Red Day, talk about your experience with our company, and help people understand that we're doing more than just helping people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. I mean, that is certainly what we are the best in the world at, and the impact that we get to have goes beyond handing keys, right? And so when this message gets told by everybody, it becomes overwhelming for the people that are, that are networked with multiple people inside of our organization. This is a great way to, do the soft sell on what it's like to be a part of Keller Williams. If you're somebody that's interested in building your profit share, it's a great way to talk to people in your network or your clients about real estate without actually talking about real estate. And so we are thrilled to have this asset, and we will be integrating it alongside everything else that we are posting and sharing out that is hyper specific to you and your wins. So just another shameless plug. If you are not following our externally facing page, there's a chance you could be missing out on some really cool stuff, us celebrating the wins and of our market center, of our individual agents, and of people in our communities. So just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention today. So when you see a bunch of stuff getting pumped out, you please share it as some free marketing content for you and your business. Danielle, I know that you are the Disney magic behind all of the Bet on Red posts and all of our other posts. Anything to add? Anything that you would want folks to know or be prepared for or think about as they engage with that content?
No, I mean, I think you said it. I think, if we don't share our story, then somebody shares it for us, right? So that's what we always hear. So for us, it's just sharing our story. It's continuing to build our company and grow our company. So for you guys, if you want to do the same, you can share it out. At the very least, it gives you content and it allows you to share your story alongside of us. So yeah, as you see it, repost it if you want to. But we just wanted you guys to understand what it is that we're kind of moving into with the Bet on Red. So yeah, that was it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that, Danielle, and thanks for all your hard work on that project. And as always, guys, like we as a Market Center leadership team are working to run a great business, and hopefully one that you can model off of and rip off and duplicate, right? And so whether it be with use of command, our marketing efforts, our ability to leverage existing assets from KWRI for our Market Center, you can leverage those for yourself as well. If you need help with any of this, if you're like, hey, you mentioned content, what exactly do you mean by content? Awesome, let's talk about it. Like, let's have a conversation about what you're trying to get better at and how you're trying to grow your business. And we will we'll look forward to doing that when the time comes. But if there is nothing else, we will get our boot out the door here a little bit early. Do not miss next week. The Ask a Maps Coach is going to be wonderful. We're going to have some of the top Maps coaches throughout the world on our call, and they're going to be talking about their coaching programs and other trainings available through Maps. Maps is not just coaching. There is a ton of periodic training, 6-week training programs, 1-day events. Like, there are things that are happening inside of Maps that you can come get a quick shot in your arm for lead generation and go out there and have a really strong next 90 days. So take advantage of that next week, and we will see you here 9:30 a.m. in the Zoom room. All right. Have a great day, guys. Go have a great week, and we will see you on Thursday for Red Day.